Let's build a simple HO scale model railway building. Hi, I'm Chris, the modeller at ABR Modelworks. Thanks everyone. The response so far to our videos has been great. So I'm going to show you the basics of building a model building with our modular model building system. And will soon be followed up by the step-by-step series of videos on the modular model building system. But first, don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell icon so you never miss an opportunity to get more out of your model railway hobby. Oh, and stay around to the end of the video for a special viewers only offer. So let's go to the bench and get started building a model building with the modular model building system. So this building isn't a building that I'd necessarily build for my model railway. However, it is a building that I'm putting together to show you how the panels go together. So let's have a look at what's on the bench to start with. First up, identify all the parts you're going to use for your building. A good way to do this is to place the panels side by side as they would be for each finished wall. Put the brick inserts on top of the panel they're going to be fitted to. Do the same for the 3D printed windows and doors. This gives you an overview picture of where all the parts go, and at the same time you can see if you have everything you need. Using a 3M 320 grit sanding sponge or some 320 grit sandpaper, lightly sand both sides of the wall, floor and roof panels, plus the brick wall inserts. You need to do this because during the laser cutting and engraving process there is an amount of glue and debris that gets deposited on the surface of the wood. Sanding removes those deposits and gives you a nicer finish to the painting and weathering process. Now we'll prepare the wall panels for assembly. The system uses tabs and slots to key the panels together. We've left the slots attached to the panels so that the side of the panel when removed from the holding frame is straight. This allows you to put the panel up against another flat surface like a background wall or another building. Most of the time you'll remove the material in the slots so that you can join the panels together, which is what we're going to do in this building. Each panel has three sections. The bottom section, the middle section, which has one section per story, and the top section. When you look at the panel you'll see that the top and bottom sections can be removed like the slots on the sides. They're only removed when you're stacking different panels on top of each other. For this building we're using a 1-story 0 opening panel with a 1-story 2 opening panel sitting on top that when they go together will form a 2-story end panel. Remove all the wall panels from their frames, pushing them through from the front side to the back. Note that when you look at the back side of the panels, you can see where the holding tabs are because the laser has stopped cutting at that point. Once you've removed the panels from their holding frames, sand off the holding tabs in the sides and in the tab areas of all of the panels. Test fit the panels together using a straight edge along the bottom of the building to make sure that they line up, and make any adjustments in their height by sanding the top or bottom of the tab slots. If you end up with a small gap by doing this, don't worry about it. It will be covered up later in the build. Sand off the holding tabs in the openings of both the panels and the brick inserts and test fit as you go. Remove the 3D printed detail parts from their sprues and sand with a jeweler's file and an emery board any plastic left behind and test fit them in their locations. Now at this stage you'd start painting the 3D detail parts and the brick inserts, giving them time to dry while you're working on other parts of the build. I like to use Deluxe Materials Speed Bond glue as it dries fast and sands well. On a flat surface, glue each of the panels together that make up a wall. Most people use way too much glue, which can give you a very ugly glue lines. So I use the Deluxe Materials Pinpoint bottle. It gives me great control over how much glue I use, and as I use less, it saves me money. A win-win. Now I like to use a metal plate when gluing panels together because A, it's flat, and B, it allows me to use weights with any magnets I need to hold things together while the glue dries. So we'll leave this now for about 15 minutes just to let that set up enough that we can handle them. Once dry, I give each wall a light sand just to make sure there's no glue on the surface, as it will show up when you paint the walls. So now we're going to add the supports for the floors and roof. Okay, as you can see, I have a group of magnets holding one of the walls in place so that I can glue on the supports for the bottom floor and the middle floor. The roof will go the top there. When gluing the supports to the walls, use a piece of scrap from one of the holding frames as a spacer to make sure that the floor and roof pieces will fit together in the walls. Now, if this was going to be a finished building, I would paint the walls before adding the brick inserts and windows and doors. I would also glue together and paint the pilasters that go on the sides but not on the corners. That's done later. Glue all the brick inserts and roller doors into the walls, and then the 3D printed windows and doors. With the roller doors you can choose how far open you want the door to be. Just cut the door with a razor saw to the height you want. The main reason why I have used a thinner material for the brick inserts is that it gives you the choice whether you mount them flush or recess into the wall. I tend to like the recessed look, but that would depend on the building itself. When gluing the walls together, you should first choose which wall is going to be the main facing wall to the viewer. Once you've selected the main wall, clamp it to the end walls and fit the bottom floor. However, in this build, the bottom floor is going to be stepped, and therefore it's only going to be 2 panels long. So we'll glue in the second floor. Glue the 2 end walls to the main wall, making sure that they're at 90 degrees to the main wall, and glue in the floor as it will give the building some rigidity. Now your building has 3 sides. It's time to fit the other floor's roof pieces, and as this building has a step in its height, we need to fit the wall section that goes in the step and glue it to the main wall. At this stage I'd be adding any interior details and lighting, as once the rear wall goes on, you most likely are not going to be able to access the inside of your building, as is the case with this one. So now glue the rear wall to the building. Add the side pilasters, corner pilasters and roof trim. On the corner pilasters and roof trim, fill any gaps with deluxe materials, white model light, filler and sand. Next you would paint the corner pilasters, the roof trim and touch up any other parts of the building that need it. Add any additional 3D printed detail parts that go on the outside of the building, plus add anything else such as signs and weathering, etc. And there you have it, a simple 17-step build process. A building of this size with a similar number of windows and doors is about a weekend's work for a modeller who's built kits before, and for a new modeller maybe a little longer. The part that takes the time is the painting, weathering and detailing, and if you're that way inclined you could spend a few more days, even a week or so on the project. It's up to you. So that's it. The modular model building system goes together with ease. But please let me know what you think. Your feedback and questions will help us make better models and video content for you. So ask your questions in the comments below. If you'd like to build with this system or any of our other kits, why not save some money while you do it? Go to the website and subscribe to the ABR Modelworks newsletter. There's a link below. We'll send you a thank you email with a 20% discount coupon that you can use off your first purchase. Plus, if your order is over $125 US, we'll freight it to you free. Now don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and ring that bell. I'm Chris, the modeller at ABR Modelworks. Have a great day and thanks for watching.